What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue, episode number 146. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, as always, Tim Howard.
Tim Howard's fat stunt double. Oh, it's Antonino joining you once again. Guys, what is up?
If you're not watching the video or looking at any image related to the show, we made a joke before the show about how he looked like Tim Howard. So he's got the beard going just like Tim Howard, and he's wearing a keeper kit.
Unintentional, totally unintentional. I've been trying to grow the beard out so that way when the wedding comes next month, I could shape it so it looks good and not freshly shaven. So this is probably 2 months of growth, and it's as long as I've had it. But I just looked in my reflection here, and I'm just like, damn, this is Tim Howard-esque.
That's right. Yeah, very, very Tim Howard. That's why you wore the keeper kit. You had to wear the keeper kit. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, guys, you got to laugh to keep from crying this week because my word did NYCFC crap the bed. We're going to definitely get into that in our New York groove. We're going to talk about the absolute disaster that happened at BMO Field on Friday night where NYCFC got thumped 4-0 by TFC. We're going to figure out who the dude of the week is, although I'm pretty sure we have an idea of who that's going to be. We've got the far post. We've got a lot of MLS action to go over. We had a jam-packed weekend. A lot of goals. This weekend. Really, really exciting. We got a special Ants Rants for you. We've got the short corner with your Instagram story rapid-fire questions. And then we got another giveaway at the end of the show. So stick around for that as well. And we're going to get into it in a second, dude. But before we do, you give us the follow, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You share this video if you're watching on the Facebook live feed, so smash the share button. And do you want to announce the winner of last week's contest before we start the show?
We should probably do that.
While you're doing that, Anthony's got the MLS signed ball by most of NYCFC from last year, and we got a winner. We got a winner from the broadcast last week. Are you ready, dude?
Let's do it.
One lucky Dudes in Blue fan is going to win this beautiful signed ball, and that winner is TJ Leronimo on Facebook. TJ, congratulations, my friend. You won this beautiful signed ball. Shoot us a DM to claim this. We need your particulars so we can get this ball out to you, as long as you live in the United States, because if you don't, we're picking somebody else, my friend. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Stick around for the end of the show because we've got another giveaway, and thanks to everybody that entered to win this one. We've got another giveaway at the end of the show. Dude, last thing I want to do before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about, I just got to give a couple shout-outs to the Facebook commenters because there's a bunch of them already.
Who is here?
Jamal is checking in. David saying, what's up, dudes? Andres, my favorite, Caballeros in Azul. Coco is saying, hello, dudes. Roddy Russell's back. We haven't seen him in a while. Lalo is saying, NYCFC equals Titanic. Yes, the Titanic was above water longer.
Minus the good music.
That's Christian Smith coming in saying hashtag Domè out now. John Levin saying hi. Christian Smith, Javier, and Henry. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us. We really do appreciate it.
That's a full house, baby.
We've got a full house. Keep those comments going because we're going to get into some serious, some serious stuff here. Let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
The New York Groove. Dude, I think this New York Groove is now going to be called the Toronto Groove because they were the ones that were grooving and we were the ones that were pretty much duking.
I don't know what duking is, but okay.
What a garbage game.
Yeah. Very, very, very bad. Losing, it's never really acceptable. But if you lose because another team beats you and you're both fighting and you're both getting chances, so be it. That's fine. I will accept that. 365. It's not an issue for me. You want to see two good teams battle, but when you play as sloppily as we did, like the bunch of sloppopotamuses that we are, it's disgusting. It is utterly embarrassing. And honestly, I would have preferred Toronto score 2 or 3 more goals just to be that just to be that knife that could possibly get Domè out of here.
They could have had more. They had 2 goals taken away by offside. Rightfully so, right? Like rightfully so. We have to give VAR full credit this game.
Yeah.
I sent out a tweet in the middle of the game. VAR giveth and VAR taketh away, and it happened without fail. It really did. I mean, like the first goal taken back was a great call. The PK was also a great call. You had to look at it. He pulled him down in the box. There's nothing else you could do about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta be aware when you're in the box and you're defending. There are things that you just cannot do, whether intentional or not. You gotta keep your hands off of the opposing player, because the minute they feel contact, they go down. Now the penalty on Callens was totally 100% warranted. You could see him pulling the jersey.
Of course.
That's another thing you can't do. But you've seen a lot of instances where players just put their hands up to kind of give a little bit of resistance to the offensive player. And once that guy feels it and goes down, you're done. There's no reason for you to put your hands on somebody else in the box. I know people want to do it and they want to try to get leverage, but you're going to end up on the wrong side of the penalty spot on that one.
It was really unfortunate. It was an unfortunate defensive display. It was an even more poor offensive display.
Abysmal.
3 shots on target for the boys in blue. Dude, if that's all you can muster up in 90 minutes, dude, I'm sorry, but I don't think Hebert is going to fix this.
I don't see how Hebert could play soccer.
Dude, you ever see that video? You ever see that video online of the plane that touched down and then immediately started taking off again?
Yeah.
That must have been Hebert's flight as he heard the score coming in to LaGuardia or wherever the hell he landed.
JFK.
At Kennedy. There you go. So, like, I don't know.
I think there's some correlation to abysmal riding with Pepto-Bismol. I think there's, because this team makes me nauseous, and you have to have the Pepto ready right there. It's just, this game was so atrocious. The sloppiness all over the field, and the final play in the final third is nowhere to be seen.
Play? The ball wasn't in the final third. The ball never got there. Now, listen, I can understand that you want to take it with a grain of whatever you want to take it, because Maxi wasn't in the lineup. I want to take it with grain alcohol. That's what I want to take. That's what I want to take it with.
But if you construct a team where removing one solitary player can make a team look this bad, I'm sorry, you failed as a general man, whatever you want to call whoever puts the roster together. It cannot happen. One man a team does not make. That's the green the Yoda coming out right there. You cannot, just because Maxi is not there does not mean that the team can fall apart. No one man should be that powerful on a football field.
But hold on, I don't necessarily think he is, dude. Because he was in the previous 3 matches, and we weren't that great.
Right, but we weren't this abysmal.
Dude. I don't think Maxi is that much of a difference maker. I really don't. Dude, the 11 men that were on the field, there's enough talent on the field to at least produce chances. My thing about that is if you have 11 talented players on the field, if they cannot play together into one cohesive unit, that comes down to management. That does not come down to the play. Yes, the players are the one kicking the ball, but when there's no strategy, there is no clearly defined style or way of playing. Everybody flip-flopping, everybody out of position. The plan was completely abysmal. The plan did not exist. And that doesn't come from your captain. It doesn't come from your keeper. It doesn't come from any player on the field. It comes from your manager. It comes from your head coach. And he's the one that needs to be held fully accountable for this crap. Because, dude, listen, we've had the same kind of performances the first 3 matches. We've gotten lucky. Sean Johnson kept us in our home opener, right? Mm-hmm. It was not pretty the first 3 games. This was just all that crap finally catching up to us, to a team and specifically a player in Alejandro Pozuelo who just completely unlocked us and absolutely pummeled us.
Yeah, I
agree.
And
Domè took responsibility in his press conference. Okay,
that means nothing.
But what does that mean? What does that mean? You now play a team in Montreal Impact that just got beat 7-1 by Sporting Kansas City. You're playing against a team who is just as abysmal, if not more abysmal, as you are. If they don't come away with a result this weekend, if Montreal comes away with a result this weekend, serious questions need to be asked. And serious accountability needs to be put on, and serious decisions need to start to get made. Because this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Dude, 4 wins in 20 matches. That's enough. 4 wins in 20 matches. The man has destroyed any resemblance of a team that this team had.
I 100% agree. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not one to be irrational and jump to conclusions and jump ship right away, but at this point, you can't change the 11 people on the field. That's not going to do you any good. The style of soccer he wants to play is suited for players who are ultra talented at doing the things he wants. You have talented players, but they don't have the talent to do what he wants to do. That doesn't mean that they're bad. By far, we've seen that this team was a contender. Almost the same players last season. And don't tell me it's because David Villa, because they played better without Villa.
Right.
The team's talent. You need to play to everyone's strengths and find a strategy that works for them. Not one strategy works for every team. There's a reason why Real Madrid plays different from Barcelona. That plays different from Juventus. That plays different from Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. They all play different because they play to their players' strengths and they bring in the people that can do those things they want to do. If Pep wasn't the coach and someone else wants to play a different style, you best believe that some of those players are not playing for them anymore. That's just the way it is.
I got to get to a comment on Facebook here, dude, because they're flowing here, and I wish I could get to everybody. But please keep them coming, guys. Christian Smith on Facebook says, our problem was tactics. However, there should have been at least one midfielder with some attacking prowess. Parks immediately comes to mind, would have made things a tad easier. But then again, who does that fall on, Christian? Who does that fall on? Who made the call to not put Keaton Parks into the game?
Yeah.
Your management.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And again, it's said you took this guy away from a team where he was growing, and again, he was playing with the second level for Benfica. But I'd rather him play second level than be riding the bench here. It's useless. It's totally useless. You have a guy who's got more height than most of the people on our team, who can be a target in the box, who has a little bit of attacking prowess where you don't have to make Ring your friggin' secondary striker almost and play him out of position. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that everybody else can see what's going on and the person at the helm can't.
And again, I don't think this is a problem that gets solved by bringing in a makeshift striker. Prove me wrong. Like, dude, I think I speak for the entire NYCFC fan base who wants to be proven wrong at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? You want this to be the missing piece of the puzzle, ultimately.
But at the same time, the manager's still the same. I don't think the tactics are going to change all that much, dude. I really don't. I don't think you're going to see Alex Ring play that number 6 role. I think you're going to see James Sands there, and I don't think you're going to see. I think you're going to see Alex get too far up the field and not hold the line defensively. I think you're going to see Maxi trying to drift into the middle, being the target guy. I don't think this man has what it takes to manage a team on his own. Phenomenal assistant coach, but when you're standing next to Pep Guardiola, it's really effing easy to look good. It really is.
And here's the thing about Pep too. I think Pep can kind of get behind his players. I think he has that. He's got that personality, and personality is a big thing when it comes to relating to players. Domè doesn't. His English is very poor. He has a poor time in every press conference conveying what he's trying to say. Now, imagine him doing it to the rest of the team. I'm not saying it's a huge factor, but there's a disconnect there. And if you can't get your players to buy into what you want, you're going to get products like the game on Friday night. And listen, let's just say Hebert was there and in the lineup. When would he have touched the ball?
They'd have to find 5 goals, dude. They'd still have to find 5 goals.
When would he get the ball? You couldn't get the ball to the person who was playing in that spot anyway. So I fail to see how this guy's going to come in and make a huge impact, barring him taking the ball from the center back, dribbling it all the way up the field, and scoring goals by himself.
No,
with this tactic,
I agree.
His game plan.
I agree.
Listen, I give him 2 more weeks. 2 weeks to get one game to get acclimated, and the second game to figure it out. And if they can't do it with him in the lineup, the coach has to go.
Our players were ghosts, complete ghosts. We had Ishmael Tajuri Shradi on the field. Didn't call his name once. You had Matrica, barely anything created. You had Afori. You had Ring.
Nothing.
You had Medina, who has got to go. He's got to go. I'm sorry. At least knock him down to a non-DP status. He's wasting a spot. He's wasting a spot.
This is what drives me absolutely crazy, and this segment has turned into a Joe and Ants rant right now, but with good reason. You see guys like Pozuelo play the way he plays.
We have to talk about him, yeah.
And then you look at guys like Medina, and you've got to ask yourself.
Same level.
You got to ask yourself, why are we looking at these guys? Why are we bringing in trash? When you can find guys, is our scouting department that poor? Excuse me. It's really, it's unacceptable. And I know there's a fine list and this, that, and the other thing, but you've got to be able to find these guys. In the way the league is set up, these are the players you have to find that get the job done. You've got the big names like Rooney and Zlatan that can get it done. We know that, but they're super expensive. And I understand that you can't have a lot of those guys.
Dude, no. The expense is not the problem. They spent $8.5 million on a guy nobody's ever freaking heard of.
And that's just it. If you were to tell me that you could have given me the option between Matrica and Pozuelo right now, I'm taking Pozuelo.
Dude, let's transition over to the positive here, dude, because like you said, this is turning into a Dudes in Blue rants episode.
There's positive? What positive?
The positive for TFC. Dude, I was enjoying watching Pozuelo play. Dude, he completely bossed his team around.
He's going to fill in for Jovinko nicely.
Dude, are you kidding me? I think just by that, my hot take is that he's going to be way better than Jovinko. I think he's going to score more goals than Jovinko. I think he's going to pick up more assists than Jovinko. He's disgusting. He can pass the ball. He can score. He's got a great left foot. He almost put one in on Sean Johnson if he didn't make that save. Dude,
and his vision
is the real deal. The guy's the real deal.
His vision's incredible. He's going to have a great season with Toronto. Him and Josie linking up are going to be problems.
Oh, it already was. Already was.
Sure.
Game 1. This guy proved his worth.
Yeah, you can't ask for more than that. You cannot
ask for more than 2 goals and an assist? Oh, and by the way, you Panenka a freaking penalty. You assisted on a beautiful goal. Oh, and you chipped freaking Sean Johnson from outside the box.
Yeah. It's just he was a lot.
You got to take him off at that point because he peaked.
Yeah, that's it.
He peaked in the game. Take him off.
That's it.
Dude, it was again. I went from NYCFC fan to complete neutral by the second half of that game, and I was kind of like you. I wanted Toronto to get more. Because something needs to awaken somebody, whether it's in the front offices or at CFG. Something needs to happen here because you are now bleeding fans. You're bleeding goals. It's going to be a bad season if this is the track that this team is on.
I'll tell you what. And Ian Joy ran a poll. We ran a poll. What is more important, the team winning or the stadium or the coach leaving? And a lot of people said the stadium. I'm sorry. The stadium is not going to change the way these guys play. It is not. Just because the field is bigger does not mean that the tactics are going to change in the way that you hope they are. The stadium would be nice and it's gravy, but I've never heard of somebody rooting for a stadium. I don't root for Yankee Stadium. I root for NYCFC. I get the stadium. It's nice and it's loved, and we do need one. Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% saying that we do need a stadium, and sooner rather than later. But if the team plays like this in a new stadium, there's not going to be anybody there to watch them.
I want to put this out there, and I think I might make this a poll on Twitter, dude, because this is an interesting. I think this is an interesting question to all the stadium people out there. Let's say that a stadium opened the same day that Domè took over this team. Knowing what you know now, if a stadium was open in July of 2018, knowing what we went through last season and knowing what we're going through this year, are you still as into NYCFC as you are now? If there's a stadium? When you look at the results, when you look at 4 wins in 20 matches, when you look at 3 points this season versus I think it's 7 or 5 in our very first season, 2015, we're having a worse start than 2015, which was an absolute disaster of a season. Granted, it was an expansion team. But if you open up a stadium, dude, would you feel any better about the team now in this position?
Ultimately, you feel worse. You feel like you're wasting a opening season on a brand new stadium. Listen, you're going to get spectators in the stadium. You don't want, not that you don't want spectators, you want fans. You want people to care about the team. Otherwise, you end up with things like Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden on any given night is filled with more foreigners and corporate people than actual fans because, one, they're priced out, which, believe me, our $34 seats are going to jump completely up to close to $80 a piece. Watch. You've got people who come just for the novelty of it. You don't want people coming for the novelty. You want people to stay because of the team. Having the stadium is icing on the cake, but if the cake sucks, the icing ain't going to do anything.
Shining up turd, dude.
That's all it is. It's the shiny new toy will wear away so fast. And guess what? When you bring a losing team in front of the politicians and say, hey, look, we've got a team that needs a stadium. Oh, really? How many fans do you have? Oh, we average 13,000 because no one shows up because we suck. It's not – you can't do it that way. It just can't it's equally as important as winning. I'll put it at that. It is equally as important. But if you think that winning is not important or you think this team can continue playing this way and we're going to have a valuable team moving forward into a new stadium, which you're probably not going to see for another 3 to 4 years, I'm not on board with that. I'm not cool with seeing this team lose for the next 3 seasons. I will be there and I will be cheering and I will be watching, but I don't want my team to be like that. I want my team to win, and I want people to support the team going into a new stadium.
Yeah. Roddy Russell on Facebook says, right now I am at 10% satisfaction. If a stadium opened when this fraud took over, I'd be at 10% satisfaction. So no change there. Amanda says, yeah, I'm not wanting a stadium right now. It's just I don't think it matters. I think you got to start winning.
You don't want it. We all want it. But I think as a fan, you should want, as a fan, you should want this team to win more than you want a stadium. Because if you just want a stadium and you think the stadium is more important than the team winning, I don't know who you're rooting for. I don't know who you're rooting for. Long term, is it good? Yes. But we don't have a chance to get long term because we've screwed up so much in the first 5 years.
Yeah. Rajendra on Facebook says, we don't need a stadium right now. We need parks. Keaton Parks. Listen, we need something. We need something. It was a sad night. And again, Christian Smith is saying it pretty well on Facebook. We want a stadium, but we need a better coach. That's a great way to kind of end this segment, dude. We got to move on. This game is terrible.
Let's talk about something good.
Let's move on to something kind of good, I guess. Let's move on to the dude of the week. Dude of the week. I'm just gonna say Alejandro Pozuelo. I'm putting it out there. Dude of the week.
I agree with you, but in a week where you've seen 2 hat tricks and 42 goals scored.
Oh man!
I mean, it's a tough week, and I want to give it to Pozuelo just because we kind of focused on that and we were able to actually grasp what was happening. I mean, on your debut, to be able to go into a new team that you haven't really trained with, you haven't been fully submersed within the squad yet, to be able to do that to me is above and beyond. Whereas those other guys scoring, you kind of you don't expect hat tricks, but you kind of know what they bring to the table. This was kind of a pleasant surprise, and that's why I think for me he gets the dude of the week.
We've got 3 nods for Pozuelo on the comments so far, at least from what I can see.
And that's
Amanda said, "This is great. This is great." Amanda says, "Ian Joy gets my dude of the week for tearing the team apart." Listen, shout out to Ian Joy for not being afraid to call this baby ugly. We gotta have him. we gotta have him back on the show. I gotta reach out to him, man. He's gotta come back. I want to hear more because he was on TV. You know, I feel like he let loose a little bit more with us, and I think he even dropped a couple of curse words on the show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so, he was the first one to curse on the show. It was fantastic.
Listen, I will take that. So are we in agreement here, Alex Pozuelo getting dude of the week for this one?
I'm agreeing with you, and I think we agree with those who had gave him the nod in the comments.
All right, fantastic. There was really, again, we're gonna take a trip around MLS to talk about all those other wonderful things that happened over the weekend in a minute. But dude, we're gonna move on to the far post where we're gonna look at MLS as a whole. But before we do that, guys, little special announcement for you that have been asking, waiting patiently. We finally have word on the official 2019 Dudes in Blue scarf. It is now available for pre-order. Here's the graphic on the screen, guys. Dude, I am pumped about this. The fans should be too.
Yeah, so we've got a good supplier. We had to change that around a little bit, which why it took a little bit longer. But we're finally happy with this design. 90-minute scarves did a great job. We have to reach a minimum with these things. Our minimum went from 20. I knocked it down to like between 11 and 15. So. If we get there, they'll be in production, which is awesome. So head over, pre-order, sign up, and courtesy of 90-minute scarves, anyone who buys, once the order is made, 2 lucky winners will actually get their scarves for free. You have to be on the pre-order and do it, and then you one of those. And listen, it's a small number, so everyone's got a decent chance to win here. So 2 people will get their scarves for free after the fact. So thanks to 90-minute scarves for helping us with the design.
For sure.
And pre-order. And if you have any questions, you can always DM Joe or myself, and we will get back to you, and we can direct you in the right direction.
Wow. Yeah, so the URL is there, guys. We'll make sure to have a couple of posts about this, so we really do appreciate it. It helps support the show, helps get you guys more content. So
and it looks
good. Amazing.
You look good. You will look fantastic.
You're gonna like the way you. Oh, we can't say that. Anyway, guys, check out 90-minute scarves. We really appreciate it. And now we're gonna move on to the far post. The far post. All right, dude. It's time for the far post, that part of the show where we take a trip around MLS. My God, dude, there were 42 goals scored this weekend. Where the hell do we begin?
And 30 of them are given up by San Jose. San Jose has given up
Montreal.
14...
Montreal had the winning ticket on that one.
San Jose has given up 14 goals in a month. That is ridiculous.
They're on pace to give up 120-something goals this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, dude. Listen, let's we're gonna probably talk about a couple matches, and guys, let us know in the comments what you thought were the special moments of MLS this weekend. All right, dude. Let's start off with the Red Bulls. Red Bulls lost. Red Bulls falling apart. An own goal from Tim Parker gave Chicago Fire the 1-0 victory in Chicago. It's Chicago's first win of the season. I am very happy that the Red Bulls lost because that's their second straight loss, both to 1-0 results. One to Orlando, and now to the Chicago Fire. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Anytime they lose is always nice. We enjoy the Schadenfreude very much on this show.
Yeah. Again, I can't really speak too much about this because, we got our asses kicked. But it's always good. It's always good to see your rivals lose. It makes you feel a little bit better about the weekend. Hey, here's what I will say. I watch so much MLS. I got ESPN Plus. I watch way more than I probably should. And let me tell you, watching Major League Soccer as a neutral is wicked fun. It is a lot of fun, especially with some of the not just the results that we had this weekend, but just with the players and the talent and the teams and the storylines. There's just so much. It's just so much fun. Plowing ahead, the Revs 2-1 over Minnesota. I think is that Minnesota's first loss this year?
I'm not sure. I know that was New England's first win, I believe.
Because Minnesota was kind of flying high for a little bit. Here's a big one, dude. Here's a big one. Sporting Kansas City 7, Montreal Impact 1. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And Kansas City is not really known to be a really super offensive.
They're a great defensive team.
Spot. Yeah, they really are. Starting with Tim Melia, one of my favorite players in this league, just a really terrific goalkeeper. But Nemeth coming up with a Hattie, very, very nice. Just 7. Anytime you see 7 goals is just no. That's a
stop. It was 5-0 in like the 50th minute, and they just didn't stop.
When you look at it, if I'm looking at the minutes of the goals here, you had a goal in minute 10, minute 43, minute 45 plus stoppage, minute 50, minute 68, minute 84 on 78 and 84. You had goals throughout the entire game. It wasn't like they piled up in the first half and then stopped playing like a lot of teams would. They just put their foot to the throat and crushed the windpipe of Montreal. And I think if you're going to look at what you need to do in order to win games, that's what you need to do. You cannot let up off the gas no matter what the score is, because the minute you do, you start you get complacent, and that's when problems arise, and that can spiral quickly. But good for them. Again, you're right. These games are a lot of fun to watch because I think it's a little more fast paced than a lot of the European leagues. It is a lot more running, but I think it gets you a little bit more excited. And some of these goals are just absolute bangers this weekend.
Yeah, 100%. We'll obviously get to more goals, but yeah, 7-1, dude. That's just a monster scoreline. Sporting Kansas from a team that didn't really, like you
Rodney
said,
Wallace. Rodney Wallace's name not on the score sheet.
No, his name was etched into the bench. Yeah. All right, dude. Let's keep moving on here. FC Cincinnati lost. They were on pace to set an expansion team record, but they unfortunately fell to Philadelphia Union 2-0. David Accam picked up another goal. That dude is starting to finally pick up steam.
Yep.
Starting to fit under the system there and really starting to let the floodgates open. So I'm happy for him. I'm not so happy that their Eastern Conference team actually picking up the results, but at the same time, you like seeing guys pick up goals. The other thumping, which we kind of alluded to before, was LAFC 5-0 over San Jose. San Jose is, I believe, the only team in MLS with 0 points. Wow.
Yeah, and their coach, listening to Taylor Twellman talk earlier on ESPN, their coach said he's not worried about it, and he's got 4 years. He's got 4 years to work this out. That's a no-no. That is a no-no. If you're telling me you're going to give me 4 years of this crap, you can't. It's okay to think that in your head, absolutely 100%. But you kind of don't want to do it in 4 years. You kind of want to do it like year to year. You want to grow. But saying like you have 4 years to do it, that's like shunned. Should be shunned. Shun him.
It's not what the fans want to hear. Not what the fans want to hear. So that was another thing. Carlos Vela picked up a hat trick in that match. LAFC is another team that's just absolutely lighting things up.
Vela's dirty. His curler with the left foot was dirty.
Signature, man. That's a signature. That's what he does.
What a beautiful shot.
That's what he does. Atlanta, again, picking up another loss to Columbus 2-0. Dude, there is some serious trouble in paradise, man.
Maybe we could swap coaches and see what happens.
No.
Listen, couldn't be anywhere. worse.
Yeah, I guess not. FC Dallas beating RSL 4-2. RSL struggling, man. RSL picked up a red card. I believe they picked up at least one other red card this year. They've only played 4 games.
Yeah, that's rough.
They are just red card central. Mike Petke's head must be fuming. That's a guy, by the way. That's a guy who belongs in New York.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a guy that belongs in New York.
Yeah,
Let's
swap.
Let's do swapsies. When we play RSL this year, you leave Domè there and bring Mike Petke home with us.
That's it.
Let's see what happens. Houston 4-1 over Colorado Rapids. Now, dude, I gotta talk about Houston because Tommy McNamara, for the love of God, cannot get anything going, and it's making me incredibly sad, and it's very, very upsetting. Joseph, my son, who's going to be 3 this month actually, came downstairs while I was watching NYCFC on Friday night, and he said, in his voice and the way a 3-year-old would say it, "Is Tommy Mac playing?" And I almost cried because he still doesn't understand that Tommy has moved on to oranger things. And it's just unfortunate to see that he's not.
Yeah, listen, again, he was kind of on the downswing with us on his way out. So you were hoping for some type of resurrection with Houston, but yet to be seen.
No. It was scoreless in Seattle. Well, it was played in Vancouver, but it was scoreless. Seattle Sounders and Vancouver Whitecaps. Man, scoreless draw there. Scoreless draw. And then finally, to the last 2 games, the couple of marquee games, I guess you can call them, were last night. DC going to Orlando and literally stealing 3 points from Orlando City. Wayne Rooney, if you guys didn't see Wayne Rooney's free kick, go Google it.
Go find it immediately. Well, when the show ends, go find it.
Yeah, you need to Google this because this was marvelous. Now, a little controversy surrounding the goal because Dom Dwyer goes in on a tackle on Wayne Rooney. The whistle gets blown, but as you watch the replay, there is no contact whatsoever on Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, and here's the big thing with a play like this. It comes down to intent. That slide tackle from Dom Dwyer was clearly intent to injure. If Rooney doesn't get out of the way, he's blowing a knee, almost guaranteed. That's just the way it shaped up. He was able to get out of the way. Pretty much the way, listen, if you try to kill someone and you don't succeed, if you shoot at someone 3 times and you don't hit them, you're still going to get arrested for attempted murder. So he still gets the free kick. That's about as plain as I can put it. But with almost zero angle, was able to ring one off the far post and get it in. That was one of the.
He was almost on the end line. Like it was almost a corner. Like it was almost a corner kick.
It's like one of those trick shots where they in training a lot of times you'll see them like behind the net try to curl one in and put the backspin on it to go in. This one was just so perfectly placed and during a game, nonetheless, really, really, really fun to watch. That was a great goal.
Orlando's going to feel hard done by, and especially because the way that they played out the last 20 minutes or so of that match, Orlando came super hard at DC, created a number of chances at the end, but in the end they couldn't get anything in the back of the net, unfortunately. It was just the way, it was going to go. Look, that's such as MLS. You know what I mean? Like you're not guaranteed anything. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And then speaking of guarantees, you're almost guaranteed that Zlatan's going to make an impact on the game when he comes back because he came back from injury and almost made up completely for the games that he missed because he scored 2 goals to seal the win. They were both PKs to seal the victory over Portland. He could have had 4.
Yeah, I think the big story was the one that didn't go in, the one that hit off the post. The not quite a bicycle kick, maybe a unicycle kick. I don't know what. He was standing stationary, middle of the box. Pass comes in, back towards the net, and he just picks his foot up. And let me tell you, if I were to put my foot that high, you'd have to take me to the hospital. Like guaranteed, hands down. I'm splitting my groin in every place imaginable, and I'm not walking for 3 months. With the slightest, almost like a deflection, it was more like. The man is absolutely amazing, and his hand-foot coordination is like nothing I've ever seen. I've seen him score some ridiculous goals from everywhere on the pitch, from when he first started playing up until now. He is absolutely fantastic, and honestly, the dude plays like he's 23, 24 years old. It's unreal.
I've talked about this stat before on the show, but he has scored most of his goals. More than half of Zlatan's goals have come after age 30.
It's unreal.
And he's scored. I think he's in the 500 club. I know he's in the 400.
Well, I'm not sure if he is in the 500 club yet. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but listen, it was absolutely amazing. It was funny because after the match, Zlatan was being interviewed by I forget who was on the field. Was it Salazar maybe? Anyway, he said, I wanted to score. I promised my son that I would score 3 goals, and he only scored 2. I think he'll be okay. But leave it to Zlatan to get. Look, he scored the game-winning goal in the opening match of the season. The dude is he's amazing. He's amazing. Really quick, dude, real quick. I'm going to just ask you the question, and you just got to give me a number. How many goals for Zlatan by the end of the year?
27.
I'm going 22. I think he's going to be a little bit more injury prone this year than we're going to like to see. Yes, okay. It was he did score 500. His 500th goal was like not a bicycle kick. It was like a roundhouse kick. Remember?
Oh yes. Okay, yes. That one. See again. Well, just ridiculous hand-foot coordination.
They lost that game.
Eye-foot coordination.
They lost that game, but it didn't matter because the man scored that absolutely insane goal. Anyway, crazy weekend in MLS, dude. Absolutely crazy weekend in MLS. We got to keep moving here because we're getting to the end of the show here. Now, dude, it's time for Ants Rants. But is it?
I mean, we kind of already had it, but there's a little bit of something that I want to touch on.
All right.
That we wasn't able to before.
All right, let's do it. Let's cue it up. Here we go. It's time for Ants Rants. All right, dude. What's pissing you off this week besides NYCFC?
So I've been looking through the comments on some of these NYCFC posts on all these different pages, and you've got people that are bashing Alex Ring. You've got people that are saying, he said he was embarrassed with the result. They need to work harder and come up with a reaction. And people are saying talk is cheap, and now you got to and then you've got people that are complaining that he's higher up on the field. That's not his choice. That is 120% not his choice. That choice falls on the shoulders of the head coach who doesn't have a head. The headless coach, right? That's what we have. Stop bashing the guy. The guy's doing the best that he can with what he is given. He is by far not the reason we're losing. He scored 2 goals, so he's part of the reason why we've actually played. He's only
he's our leading goal scorer.
And you're gonna bash the guy because he's playing out of position because the coach tells him to. I don't care who you are. You could be Cristiano Ronaldo or you could be some kid in Pee Wee soccer. You do what your coach tells you to do. That's the way it goes. The coach knows best, and he implements you the way he feels you should be implemented. You could argue with the guy, you can disagree with him, but when you go out on the field, if your orders are to play as an attacking midfielder, that is what you do. If you have a problem with Alex Ring playing up the field, you don't have a problem with Alex Ring. You have a problem with Domè. Take it out on him because you are going to vilify this guy really quickly. And all of a sudden, your captain is not going to be a very friendly captain. And I don't think you want that. You want somebody that's personable, that's going to be cool with the media, cool with the fans, cool with the rest of his team. The minute you turn on him and he turns on you, you've completely lost the entire team. And people say he's not a leader. The dude leads by example. Derek Jeter was one of the quietest guys on the field. He let his play do the talking. And Alex Ring is like that. Unfortunately, you can't see that because he's not playing his position. Again, not his fault. So lay off my guy, Alex Ring. You take your frustrations out on the person that you should. And for me, I think we've let it all out. I think I could digress.
All right. That's nice, dude. Thanks for that nice little rants.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about our this week's giveaway, and then we're gonna do the short corner to wrap this thing up, dude. All right, guys. So last week we gave away a wonderful MLS signed ball. This week we're gonna go back a little further into the history of NYCFC, and dude is gonna show on the screen what you guys can win this week. You guys can win an autographed Andrea Pirlo card.
All right, so we got here the MLS 2016 Apex, I believe, autographed Andrea Pirlo card. Very nice. Again, one of the harder signatures to get over the last couple years. So this one's signed by El Maestro. Again, do pretty much the same thing as the last 2 weeks, right, dude?
Yep. They're gonna. All you got to do is comment and share the live episode video. Number 146. It's this video here. Just comment and share. If you've commented on the Facebook live feed, you're already in it to win it. If you haven't, if you're listening on the pod, head over to Facebook. It's pinned to the top of the page. You can just leave a comment, share the video. You'll be in it to win it. And that's pretty much it. We'll announce the winner in next week's episode 147, on Monday Night Live and Tuesday on the pod. So there you go. One more time, dude. Show the dudes in Blue Nation what they could win, and then we're going to move on to wrap this bad boy up. There you go, that beautiful Andrea Pirlo signature. Oh, yeah, it just came into focus. Beautiful. All right. There we go.
Hey.
Thank you all for commenting. All right, dude, it's the time in that show to kind of wrap things up, and
best time.
We're going to call it the short corner, where you guys left questions on our Instagram story. The rules are very easy. I read the question, give an answer. Anthony's got to answer quick. These are rapid-fire Q&A. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. J. Ramo 14. If NYCFC doesn't win this weekend, will Domè get fired? I'm saying no.
No.
Let's see. M. Lumino says, favorite song by the supporters. I'm going to go with, I got to go with Hey Baby, because that's just a classic.
Come On New York for me is one of the ones I think last year and the year before that kind of pushed everyone together in the stadium.
Same guy, different question. Favorite NYCFC jersey.
Oh
man, I gotta go Hypno.
I'm actually in a weird boat here. I love our secondary kits this year and last. Right. I'm a big fan of the gray. I like the way they look, and for the first time they had something that fit me and authentic. So that's my favorite.
All right, Trapani NYC says, how many games with Hebert do you give Domè before he gets sacked? I say 4.
I'm going 2 to 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You just can't. The season will be gone by then.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of questions about Domè. It's like hysterical. I know. Andres on Facebook says, Joe, how about you give away one of those balls behind you to me? Ha! Very nice, but no, I wish. Those are World Cup official match balls. Which
those are Joe's balls.
Those are mine.
Can't give you his balls.
You do not touch. Let's see. One Unico 12. How the hell are we going to make the playoffs in this form? We are not. Mathematically, we are not.
Yeah, no. Again, we're going to be at the bottom. If this continues, we're going to be at the bottom. Or if we can't find it fast enough, we're going to have trouble.
The Alabama Jones, should I cancel my season ticket? And I'm going to say no. Don't do that, dude.
Honestly, this question, this pisses me off. This pisses me off to no end. And this is going to be, you can put this right back with Ants Rants. You root for a team, good or bad. If you pick a team, that's a team you pledge your allegiance to. That's who you follow. If you cannot afford your season ticket, or you can't make it to the games, or it's a long drive, or you have family issues, I understand. If you're giving them up just because the team is losing, that's a problem for me. If you don't support the team at their worst, you definitely do not deserve to root for them at their best, in my opinion.
Ooh. All right.
Sorry.
El Blue Leo 23. Toronto always seems to be a team we struggle against. Why do you think that is? Well, I think we're going to struggle against a lot of teams this year there, Blue Leo. But I think it's a function of just sometimes you're going to struggle against certain teams. Just like Orlando is that same kind of team for us. New England is that same kind of team for us. There's just teams that, despite being maybe lower than us in the rankings, I think it's just going to give us a hard time. It's just always going to be the way it is.
I'm going to go with the Canadian exchange rate. I think our player statistics are kind of skewed once they cross the border there. Something
that's
happened.
Amazing. That is absolutely amazing. NYCFC fan 8, what did you guys have for dinner? Kara made really, really good steak quesadillas tonight.
Ooh, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I haven't eaten yet, but I think once Lauren gets in, we will be having a barbecue chicken chop salad.
That sounds amazing. And that's pretty much it. That's all we got. Thank you guys so much for leaving those questions on the Instagram story. Make sure to check that out. I usually post them on Sunday night, which gives it about 24 hours until the show goes live. So keep the questions coming. We love them. You know, you might as well start asking us stuff not about the team, because you're just going to start hearing the same crap over and over again if this doesn't change.
I say all the time, the questions that are like not NYCFC related, they could be soccer related or anything in general. Those to me are like the more interesting ones, just because you kind of have to think quickly. The NYCFC stuff we kind of like have already had in our heads.
We've kind of hashed out most of it already in the episode.
Exactly. So I'm all for the obscure questions.
Like the dinner one is always a good one.
Oh, listen, I mean,
talking about food. Dude, I'd like to end the show, and maybe this is something that we can do. For those of you that don't know, my favorite commentator, besides Ian Joy, if you're watching or listening, we love you. My favorite commentator is the mighty Ray Hudson, who does a lot of the La Liga games. If you don't know who Ray Hudson is, just YouTube it. He's one of the greatest commentators of all time. I'm giving him that name there.
Well deserved.
He comes up with some of the most incredible sayings in the middle of games. And dude, each week I'm gonna try to close out the show with one of them. What do you think about it? Like, I don't know. I feel like I need to do more about him because I love him so much.
I think that is a great way to end. I think it'll keep people will leave smiling. I also think we should try to get a petition where we get Ray Hudson to describe like regular everyday things in the way he does Messi's goals. I think I would like for him to, like, the same way people want Morgan Freeman to narrate like random things, I want Ray Hudson to do the same thing, because just the metaphors and the similes and everything in between that he can come up with is absolutely 100% amazing.
Magisterial.
It's magisterial.
All right, so what we'll do is I'm just going to read a quote. I've been jotting them down as I listen to him and as I watch YouTube videos. And again, if you don't know who Ray Hudson is, go to YouTube and just look it up. Rodrigo on Facebook, cleaner than Neutrogena. I love it, but that's not the one. That's not the one I'm going to use. That's not the one. He said in the Barcelona game this weekend, he said about Messi, if you told him to be there or be square, he would be both. Ray Hudson, ladies and gentlemen, is the way that we're going to end the show. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us for episode number 146. Leave us a review on Facebook and iTunes. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Dudes in Blue. The Dudes in Blue scarf is now available for pre-order, so look out for the link and please do that. We really do appreciate it. And as always, we'll be back here Monday night at 8 p.m. for the live Facebook show, Tuesday with the pod. Hopefully we'll have better news next week, dude.
We hope so.
Yeah, but until then, guys, thank you as always, and stay blue.